All right. Welcome back to Eyes Open Media. Hope you guys are doing well. Like, subscribe, and share. And thank you guys for watching the videos. All right. So let's begin with Iraq. I'm looking at investing.com. Everybody can go to the site to check out the IQD, of course. And people in the dinar community today were talking about how the numbers are, are jumping around a lot today. So I had to check a look at it and show you guys. So if you guys are curious about the Forex and the Forex trading stuff, the Euro versus the IQD, the Great Britain pound versus the IQD, the US dollar versus the IQD. You guys can see the bids. You can see the axe price. You can see the high of the day, and you can see the low of the day as well. And you can see the bid for the US dollar IQD is 1186. The axe is at 1200. You know, if you guys saw Benny's video from today that I posted, he's expecting a change in rate, not a revaluation, that we're not 1-to-1, 15 cents or something like that, but just a change in rate. And we're hoping it's that axe price right there, 1200. That's what I'm hoping for. I don't know about Benny. I want to see either 1,000 to 1 or 1,200 to 1, as I said on Currency 365 on my earlier video today. Okay. So a change in rate is coming, not a revaluation, but a change in rate. Now, of course, if it goes to 1,000 to 1, that is a revaluation, but just a little small one. Okay. And if it goes to 1,200 to 1, it's a small devaluation. So, but he's not looking for a mega revaluation. He's looking for a change in the rate. Okay. Which should be the last nothing. And if you guys will go ahead and watch this video and you'll see what he's talking about. All right, so just wanted to let you guys see that, and you guys can monitor this all day long if you want to, and you can use your monitor your other currencies as well on here, investing.com as well. Maybe Twisted Christian, if he's watching, can go through this more in depth on a video and take us through some of these other coins that he's looking at and other, and compare them to other fiat currencies. All right. So anyways, that's something that I thought it would be helpful for you guys. Investing.com. The dinar community is already talking about it. So I'm going to make sure that Eyes Open Media crew has this as well. All right. Moving on. So Iran is, and Iran's foreign minister, Tarrifs, okay, he says that we are ready to reduce customs. Now, he says we are ready. That means that he's basically saying that before then they weren't ready. So something had changed. Something changed for them to be ready. Okay. So we are ready to reduce customs tariffs with Iraq to 0. Okay. And cancel the visa. So something drastic has happened. And what is that drastic measure that has changed their lives? Is the sanctions that were implemented in October. They are now in a desperate situation to do business with Iraq. Okay. And so this is what I was talking about. I'm telling you guys that they're going to want to do everything to please Iraq and adopt that IQD, because they're going to be in a desperate situation. Okay, they're not gonna crumble under the sanctions. Like I said before, they're gonna find a way, and they're gonna get help from Russia and China and North Korea, South Korea, and others in the BRICS to survive these sanctions. Okay, but they're also going to buddy up like crazy with Iraq. Okay, and okay, so that's what they're doing. They're ready to drop. Now remember, we're still waiting on the full complete launch of the custom tariffs on all goods and services that was supposed to be activated on January 1, 2019, and it was not done because there is no release in the value of the IQD. There is no change in rate. There is no freedom of the program rate. They can change the rate inside the program rate, but they need to free the program rate. They need to free the currency, and so we can get these custom borders on all goods and all these stuff. They need to get the people purchasing power, come off of the auctions of flooding U.S. dollars. You can still have the auctions, but not flooding them with U.S. dollars, so maintain a program rate. Allow the IQD to have movement every day as well on the CBI site, not just in the street rate, the Forex numbers, but also the CBI. We want the CBI rate to fluctuate up and down as well with free flow. Okay, maybe a managed fixed float or something like that. Okay. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so let's move on. So that's what they want. Let me see if there's anything else here. Iran is ready to reduce. Okay, we know about that. It says in a meeting of economic cooperation. Okay, he said the country annually exports 2 billion. We know that already. And remove the obstacles that stand in the way of bilateral cooperation in order to raise the level of trade. Of course, now these things have been there before. They didn't care in the past, so they care now because they're really hurting. Okay, so now they really care. But when everything was good, and they were just chilling, they didn't care about none of this. They didn't care about canceling visas. You see what I'm saying? People change when they get desperate. Okay. So, you can't, when somebody is, when these people are down and they're desperate, now all of a sudden they want to be friendly to you. Now all of a sudden they want, you know what I mean? That they want to remove the obstacles that were killing you or are, having, making you go a lot harder to be able to just do normal things like trade or come into their country. Now they want to remove all that stuff because they're desperate. See, but when they get back to normal, they'll probably go back to normal and start restricting you again, and putting customs and all that stuff again, right? But when they're desperate, they'll do anything to try to please you or let you come on their team. So interesting, Iran. Okay. Parliament ends their reading of, it says, the draft legal fund for the recovery of Iraq's money. Okay. Now this is an interesting one. Because we talked about this for years, about Iraq's money. All the money that Iraq has recovered in the past, they have not touched. In my opinion, they have not touched. Okay, all the money that was recovered from all the money that was unfrozen, all the money from the corrupt politicians, from Saddam Hussein, all the money that they have gotten over the years has been put in some type of pot, in some type of area, secret area, locked up, and that money will not be touched until they free the currency and revalue, in my opinion. And that's how they're going to be even more extremely wealthy, because they're going to have all this money sitting there and it could be worth $1, $2, $3 to $1 USD. Okay, so they haven't touched that money, in my opinion. I could be completely wrong. They could have just put it in their reserves. Okay, which is money still not being touched, right? They're not touching their reserves either. So be almost the same thing. Then money they're not touching, right? So if it's in the reserves and growing, or if it's in somewhere else in a secret pot fund, then it is what it is. Okay, but the fact that they're doing a draft on this and reading the first, reading the draft on this legal fund tells you right there that we were correct years ago when I kept saying that they have this pot of money that that they haven't touched, that they're getting back from the rest of the world, and so one day we're gonna see them raise the value and we free the currency, and then this pot of money is gonna be able to be used, and it's gonna have 100 times more purchasing power than it does now, right? So, and look, they're reading the draft legal funds for the recovered Iraq's money. So, all right, so that's pretty good. Okay, so let's go through these articles. I mean, yeah, these headlines, excuse me. And says U.S. Secretary of State. Okay, so yesterday I said, is he? I was like Pompeo, the U.S. Secretary of Defense, maybe. I knew it was Mad Dog, but I was like, then what is he, right? So he's Secretary of State. Okay. So I didn't have it right in front of me, so I just said maybe he's Secretary of Defense. I don't know what he is, right? So I know he's Secretary of something, so he's Secretary of State. Okay. Plans to visit Kuwait. Okay, so he plans to visit Kuwait City, huh? Okay, all right. In the next few days, cutting off a tour in the Middle East over the death of a relative. Okay, so he looks like he's gonna cut the tour short because of a death of a relative. Okay, all right. Let's see what this is. It says a new drop in the dollar in Baghdad and oil rises. Okay, so oil is starting to rise. It went back over about. I saw last time I saw it was $52. That means Brent oil is probably at like, I don't know, 60, $62 or something like that. It's usually like $8, $7 to $10 difference. depending on what country you're in. In the Middle East, it's usually like $8 to $10 difference. Okay, so it is an $8 difference here, so you can see here, seven something, right? Seven and some change. Brent oil is at 60.76, and crude oil is at 52.20. So about a $7 difference, seven something, $7 and 56 cents. Okay, something like that. All right, so it wasn't that off. Okay, cool. So says the Baghdad Stock Exchange was at 11,996. Okay, so if you drop the three zeros, it'll be 119 basically. Okay, 119 if you drop the three zeros, 120, 119 range. Okay. So let's go here. The House of Representatives resumes its meeting Saturday. Okay, and what are they going to talk about on Saturday? It says the council has completed the first reading of the First Amendment of the law of the fund to recover the Iraq's funds. Okay, maybe they'll read the second. They'll have maybe the second reading on the recovery of the Iraq's funds as well. Okay, cool. I like this law. Okay, they're going to get all their funds, the funds that they're going to be recovered, that they have recovered, and all the funds that they haven't recovered are going to be able to come back to them under this law, and they'll be able to use it, but not until they revalue, right? They want to use it when it's at high power, which is a revaluation rate, a better rate than what they have now. Let's see here. What is this? It says Iraq's economy unifies customs duties with Kurdistan. And okay, so Iraq's economy unifies custom duties with Kurdistan. Okay, it says and the rest of the ports and eliminates the points of Kirkuk. Okay, a lot to deal with on that one, right? Okay. So they had a meeting, of course, the Ministry of Planning. Okay, so Ministry of Planning and Trade, Industry, Agriculture, the Governor, Central Bank of Iraq was there too. The chairman and the National Investment Commissions. Okay, now remember, the investment commissions, there they are. So this is the first time really hearing about them since that article where I read on Currency 365 that talking about the the revaluation of Iraqi dinar will be in 2019, okay, or was postponed till 2019, and they talked about how, and that was coming from the Parliament Economic and the National Investment Commissions, right, or something like that. And we like who are the National Convention Investment Commissions, and what is this, right? I think that's what it was. I can't remember, but I think that it was from the investment commissions. I was like, who are these people? I never heard of this, and now we're seeing it here. So they are part of these groups of people that are trying to get these tariffs and everything together. But it has to coincide, in my opinion, with a change in value. You cannot with purchasing power. Excuse me. You cannot tax goods, all goods and services on people who have no purchasing power. It makes no sense at all. They're barely able to afford the goods and services now, and then you tax it more on poor people. That's not fair. So they're all getting together to probably figure out what they're going to do, how they're going to come about with the customs, aligning it with the Kurdistan region customs and borders and everything like that. It's a big thing, but they had years and years and years to plan this whole thing out. So, it's not like it's just, they just happened today. They've had years to plan this out. Matter of fact, it was ready to go under Dr. Shabibi and Maliki. It was ready to go. All the custom stuff was ready to go. The rate was fine at 1,200. The street rate. The 1166 market rate. CBI rate 1166. Street rate 1,200. You had everything ready to go. Under the money changers had been literally wiped out through Dr. Shabibi's plan to stable the currency and the market rate and the CBI rate at 2%, and everything was ready to go. Herbal agreement, and then all of a sudden, Maliki said, "Nah, I'm not gonna play ball." Right, so here we go again. Okay, so here we go again, and we're hoping that this time it's not in Maliki's hands, it's not in the corrupt people's hands, but it's in the hands of those technocrats. Okay, So there's Ali Alak there. So we're seeing a sighting of Ali Alak. He has been quiet all year. Now, the CBI has made announcements, especially yesterday, that 2%, that 2% tax on the foreign currencies, $20 or under, was a big key, because that tells us that they're about to bring out the lower notes and the coins, and they don't want that 2% tax on their small notes and coins as well. Okay, so they're gonna remove that 2% tax on $20 or lower on foreign currency, and the same thing, so they don't have to deal with that when they bring out their small notes and coins as well. Okay, so Ali Alak is right there. He's alive. For you guys that haven't seen him, because he hasn't said anything, and he's in conferences, he's in businesses, so we could see a change in rate. Okay, so that tells us, that gives us proof that they're in all these conferences, they're dealing with the customs and the borders, and the party putting all the numbers together, finalizing these numbers, and we probably could see a change in rate to 1,200 for them to get ready for or 1,000 to 1 or 1,200 to 1, and give them that time frame or that stability to be able to cut those zeros off immediately if there is a prophetic boom, and drop the 3 zeros, and it gets some purchasing power immediately for the country to power up. Okay, so let's see here. The European Union intends to sign 2 agreements with Iraq. Now, we've heard this before, so I'm not gonna go crazy over this. Okay, so let's go down here. We've heard this before. We heard this about what, 3 months, 3 months ago, that they were going to sign 2 agreements. They actually did sign some of those agreements. I did see a article with them signing maybe 1 or 2 of those agreements, but I'm guessing, so this might be either a rehashed article, or they might be signing new agreements. So yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, and they're talking about the role of the Kuwait Conference, of 400 billion euros. Wow, for the reconstruction and the liberated areas. 400 billion euros. That's a lot of money. Okay. So Iraq is going to be just filthy, filthy, filthy rich. This is why the World Bank has them going from 1.8% to 6.2 or 6.4% in 2019. That is a massive jump. Okay. Okay. So let's just move on. We know what this is about. It's about the projects, reconstruction, all that other stuff. Okay. So we don't have to stay all day on that. I want this video to be over in 20-minute video. So we're about 2 minutes to go here. So this is the one I talked about on Currency 365. Britain announces a development strategy to help Iraq achieve economic reform. So I did talk about this on Currency 365. You can check that video out. I go over this article extensively, so I don't have to go over here. And let's see here. It says a meeting of the 3 presidencies, and Saleh confirms the speedy adoption of the budget and the required amendments. You can see that they're talking about the budget. They're not talking about the 4 cabinet names. Remember, just a month ago, they had a meeting, a month ago, they had a meeting in December, early December, I believe it was, or either it was late November, early December. They all had a meeting, and they were talking about the cabinet members. Now they have a meeting in January, and they still don't have the cabinet members named, and yet they're not even talking about the cabinet members. They're talking about the budget. Okay, so pretty sad there. Pretty sad. Okay. And so expedite the adoption of the general budget. Well, how about you expedite the adoption of the cabinet members? You guys are the 3 presidencies, and you can't demand Parliament to come in and vote on 4 names: the education, the defense, the justice, and interior. You're telling me that you guys can't command Parliament to come in and vote in front of the cameras on national television for Iraqis to see? You can't get in there and tell these people to vote on 4 names? Okay. You people have no power then. Okay. So these guys in Parliament are doing whatever they want. They're not even coming to work. They're saying, screw you guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. And they're sitting there having meetings about nothing. You know what I mean? about how corrupt they can continue to be, I guess. Coalition confirms loss of U.S. servicemen. Oh man, and the explosion. Okay, there was an explosion. Man, may his soul be rest. Hopefully he went to heaven. Hopefully he was a man of God. You know, we're losing people out here, man. We shouldn't be. Okay. Um, let's see here. Abdul Mahdi calls on all political parties to make dialogue and avoid provoking differences. If these guys had power, we would believe all this stuff they talk about, but we know they don't. So I think, is that it, or is there one more? Let's see if there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. Okay. So it says exclusively for Baghdad, an important announcement for the company to distribute petroleum products. Okay. It says launch. It says the launch of fuel card number 5, white oil by 50 liters of the card. She drew to keep card number 3. I have no clue what this is talking about. It says issue the company distribution of petroleum products. Okay, an exclusive declaration for the to the people of Baghdad. Issued a company distribution of petroleum products, an exclusive declaration to the people of Baghdad. Interesting. Okay. I don't know about the rest. I can't understand what the rest says, but okay. So exclusive declaration to the people of Baghdad. That's interesting. And we're still waiting on the distribution of wealth to the citizens and their oil revenues as well. So there's a bunch of stuff we're waiting on, guys and girls. Benny believes that the Lord, he said he talked to God, or God talked to him, and God told him that a change in the rate is coming, not the revaluation that we're looking for, but a change in the rate. So Benny believes that's going to be the last nothing. And if I see 1,000 to 1 or 1,200 to 1, then I'm going to get excited, because I know that is their gateway to drop the 3 zeros quickly. And so we will have our nothing, 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 and then suddenly, whenever they need to, and when they're going to, and if we do see that happen here within the next 7 days, then I believe that they're going to be able to drop those 3 zeros immediately when the prophetic boom happens. Okay. Now, of course, that could be different. It could happen when the trade deal happens. It could happen when the prophetic boom happens. It could happen when something else happens. It could happen when if the citizens go crazy and demand they drop the 3 zeros and give them their purchasing power before they get rid of them. I don't know. Okay. But they're going to be in position to drop the 3 zeros quickly if we see 1,000 to 1 or 1,200 to 1. All right. And I'll be dancing and excited because I know it's coming. And so will many of you guys. You guys will stop bothering us and and just relax, and you'll be like, okay, it happened the way we're all watching the same thing. It's happening the same way. Okay, I got you guys. It's 1,200 to 1 now. Now they can drop the 3 zeros, or it's 1,000 to 1. I see it now. The other countries have done this. I see it now. It's coming. Okay, and so many of you guys will finally say that, and that will be awesome. All right, so you can stop bothering me. All right, eyes open. Take care. Check out the fiat video I'm gonna do on Currency 365 as well. Check out all the videos on Eyes Open Media and Currency 365. Thank you guys for supporting the channels. Also check out the videos on Prophetic TV. That channel is growing. That's my third active channel, and it is growing like crazy, man. We are I'm actually about to meet requirements for YouTube to start monetizing that channel. It's a channel that's not monetized, but not yet. And so you got to meet requirements on YouTube to get it there. But it's almost got 1,000 subscribers almost, and it's got almost like 1,300 hours of viewing already on that channel. So it's doing good, man. It's growing really fast. So thank you guys for all your support. Peace out. God bless. Eyes open. Bye.